Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday's Talking Town. Normally, we discuss the game that was, but today we are going to be previewing the game that is Leicester versus Ipswich. First versus third now. Southampton winning yesterday pushes Town down to third on goal difference. Anything but avoiding defeat will obviously see us rise back to second Monday evening. How are you feeling heading in? You're confident, trepidatious, nervous, all of those sort of things. Let us know in the live chat how you're feeling. We've got a cricket show on Wednesday for you at 7 p.m. Don't forget that. F1 Boys also live tomorrow at 7:30 before the Leicester game, which is live on Sky. But we really need your help this afternoon to sort of shape the conversation. We've got striker talk, one out, none in. We've got Leicester, obviously, on Monday, sitting in third. Rest of the window, is it just a striker that you're targeting, or is there other areas of the squad where you feel we need to be also addressing? Let us know in the live chat. We've got Mike the Fisherman, fine, let Ladapo go, but where is the replacement? And John says 2-1 for the Town and go back to second in the Championship. Roy Stansfield, another player that's been obviously linked with Town, on loan currently at Birmingham. He says Stansfield scored a nice goal for Birmingham yesterday. Can't see him coming. Would that be your preferred striker? Do you see him coming? Is there a move still there to be made? Mike D, Prem moves don't happen until last 2 days of window. Suggests to me we're after someone from the top flight, but waiting for their moves first. It'll happen eventually. Any names there, Mike, you want to sort of throw into the mixer? Matt Stannard, a grab shoot on Monday, but I worry not sprinting up front will cost us. Yes, Monday, it's either Caden Jackson, or kind of Caden Jackson up front, right? Or do you go with somebody else? As we get into the conversation, don't forget we are partnered with two wonderful companies. First and foremost, play Match Bingo and win cash prizes. I played yesterday and won absolutely nothing, but I did win some money not so long ago. I'll keep playing. Are you a sports enthusiast who loves football and cricket? Want to support the life-saving work? That's the most important bit there. You also support the life-saving work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance by playing Match Bingo. You not only indulge in your passion for sport, but also contribute to the crucial work, and it is the crucial work, as I'm sure you'll all agree, of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. How you play is on the screen right now. Over 18s, be gamble aware. You can play through your mobile, through your iPad, etc., through their web browser. Register online, then download the Match Bingo app on your mobile. They also have a free goals bingo card, which I do play as well. Bristol City, or was it Rovers? Rovers, I think, let me down yesterday. Disappointing. It's like one of those accumulators. You're sitting there and you're going, oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. And then there's always one team that lets you down. Charlie says, set it back and two strikers, I think, are needed. Sharon says, missed you. It's been a week. Yeah, I've missed you too, Sharon. I've had a great week of feet up watching. What have I watched? Oh, yeah, old Stargate SG-1s. But, it's been good just watching television for a change. I'm not going to lie. Rob Home, technically it's two strikers, Scarlett and Ladapo out and none in. Something must be imminent, I guess. And, of course, the second company we're partnered with is Stowmarket Osteopaths. I've not been there in a while. I woke up this morning feeling really aching. I was like, why am I feeling so achy? Because I've not been to Freddie. I've not had my osteopath. If you need osteopath services, physiotherapy, Stowmarket Osteopaths are the company to go to. Phone them up. Tell Freddie the Gov has sent you on 01449 613 633. I think it's an absolute lifesaver. If you've never done it, do it. You will instantly be thankful that you did. And if you've got pain, if you've got aches, as we all get older, we all do get those. You'll see the benefits. I'm pretty sure of that. Hart says, I'll be surprised we let Ladapo go without a deal already in place. ITFC Blue forever. Ladapo out has to mean there's a striker on the horizon. And Phil says, Sarmiento came in for Scarlett, and Biden Hub says Diallo not going out on loan. Anyway, Diallo, now that would be a player I would be really, really interested in. Right, joining me this afternoon are the two Hard Truth boys, Mr. Richard Moss and Matthew Phillips. Mr.
Hello.
Phillips, Mr. Moss, trust the process. But what is the process?
Good afternoon, everybody. Just chill. Everyone needs to chill out. Chill out.
If I said to you in May that come January the 21st, you would be sat second, but your main striker would be Caden Jackson, what would you have said back to me, Mr. Moss?
Well, we just discussed this before we come on air when we done our first live show, didn't we, from Bury Town?
We did.
Way back when Paul Cook was manager. And I think Caden was part of the bomb squad then, wasn't he?
Played Chelmsford as well, didn't he? With Flynn
Yeah,
Downs.
he was on his way out, and now he is the only recognised striker at the football club. And like I said to you, I think now we are. Look, you're paying a premium if you sign into it. I think it'll probably be a loan signing. I think Matt will probably go into that. He thinks Kiefer Moore maybe in a little bit, but I think we're paying now for not addressing this situation in the summer. You know, you signed George Hurst. You obviously had Freddie Ladapo and you had Caden at the club then. And we spoke then about Kieran. Look, he's very loyal to his players, Martin. And I think sometimes maybe a little bit of, I'm not going to say blind faith, but I think if you look at Ladapo's record in the Championship before, he didn't really cut it, Matt, at Rotherham, did he? Not really. So it was no surprise really that he's moved on. And now you've left yourself really, really short. And I know Matt says, yeah, it didn't happen then. We're really lucky that George Hurst got injured right at the end of the window. If he got injured in September, we'd have been knackered. We would, because you're relying on Caden and Freddie for a long time. We didn't. We were lucky. But I think that is where this is. Look, nobody really thought that we're going to be sitting third in the table in January, level on points with Southampton. And it's probably now it's a little bit more, you're thinking, yeah, you need someone because you need someone to give you that, hopefully that final push over the line. But I think maybe back then, and we spoke then, I didn't think we had a great window before the season. And I think now if you want to sign anybody, Matt, it's going to cost you a big amount of wedge.
But we knew that in the summer. We said that in the summer, Matt, didn't we? Where it would be a hefty premium in January. It's always up there. What do you just want to build on what Richard said there?
Yeah, well, I totally agree. I mean, look, we're victims of circumstance, aren't we? Like the Hurst injury is just like innocuous, off the ball kind of thing, wasn't it? And then circumstance proves that Scarlett has to go back to Spurs. I don't believe Ashton and Co and McKenna would allow Ladapo to go out on loan without a deal being signed, sealed, and in place. The football just does not work like that, because regardless of his limitations that Ladapo's got at championship level, and we've spoken about work rate and body language and everything, he would still go to Leicester if you're on bare bones of striking options, right? He'd still go.
But he didn't come on. The thing for me, this was rumoured to be happening last week. So the club had obviously given it the go-ahead last week before we played Sunderland. It didn't happen, Matt. And you think then he brought Marcus Harness on instead of Freddie and played him up front. So I just think he's going regardless. I don't think it means that there's a striker coming in today, tomorrow, or Tuesday. I think that's irrelevant. I think he's going anyway.
Well, I mean, look, I don't disagree with that, but I just think, well, that may explain why he was lackadaisical against Wimbledon, doesn't get any minutes at all against Sunderland. But I do think there must be a deal in place, and I think the lack of noise around the permanent. I understand they were looking at Gallagher yesterday, but he's playing, so it doesn't sound like that for Blackburn. So it doesn't sound like he's in the mix. We've been linked with Moore. It seems more like I'd love to keep Moore to come back. I think he deserves a second bite at the cherry at Town. We gave him his breakout in non-league football. He's going to have a great career since. It'd be great for him to come back to us, I think, and maybe see if he can get us over the line at the second time of asking. It just seems like a loan to me, just due to the lack of noise. You can keep a loan deal under wraps quite easily, I think. But in terms of a permanent, I think that's more difficult in this age of social media and stuff where people are talking about comings and goings and everything. I hope it is more. I think he'd be really... Look, Rich floated this, and you, Martin. I think about a year ago, he could be someone who could come back. Maybe it will be. I think he's a really good... He's a better option than Sam Gallagher. Absolutely. He's an international player, for one. Played at tournaments.
But that doesn't make him a better player.
Well, it gives him more pedigree, doesn't it? And, he's got international experience and played against better level of opposition than what Sam Gallagher has ever done. But if it was for him to come in, and so be it, we'll all support him, but... Patchy injury record, went for a lot of money in 2019, hasn't really pulled up any trees at Blackburn, hence they want to get rid of him and bring that Lucas Djukovic in. Don't even get a look in at Birmingham.
No, but do they though? Because obviously he's playing, so they're obviously content in terms of what he brings to their squad, or they're playing hardball and want that bigger price. But another lone player is a plaster. I mean, there's Mike D here, Rich. Recruitment in the summer has let us down a bit. Because that's a strange statement to say when you sit third and comfortably a playoff place, Steve. So do you want to go into that a bit more? And you say yes. What's your thinking behind that?
Well, you signed Scarlett, didn't you? And he was one who obviously Kieran gave the big rap to, didn't he? Best young striker in the world, he said. He's worked with him, but he never got the minutes. You don't know what would have happened if he had the chance when Hurst went. It's just how it worked out. He'd already gone back. He'd have probably got at least 2 games there to see what might happen, but he didn't. And look, we did say it before. George Hurst was massive for this team. How we play football. He's that focal point up front. You haven't got anybody who brings anything near to the table. And this is why we're looking at people like Gallagher, Kiefer Moore. I was watching the Preston game. I'd take Will Keane. I would. Honestly, I would. And people say, no, he was shit. He didn't do a lot here before. I think, but he's the type of player that would fit the mould. He's got 9 goals for Preston. I don't think whoever comes in, he doesn't have to be a prolific goal scorer. He needs to fit that part of the jigsaw in the team. Stansfield's another one. I think in the summer we obviously spoke about him, but for me now, the managerial, I don't know what Matt and what you think, the managerial change there has probably happened at the wrong time for Town. I think he possibly might have moved on if Rooney's stayed. Mowbray's come in, he spoke about him, he said he thinks he's going to stay. And if I'm Fulham and if I'm looking, there's no need for Jay Stansfield to move to another team. He's playing every week. He's scoring goals. I think he's got 9 goals, and there's no need for him to be moved to another team. It's not like Sarmiento. He was at West Brom and he wasn't playing that much. And that's why they've obviously loaned him out again to Town. But Stansfield will be a real good... I think he'll play in the Premier League. I think he's got them attributes. He's got the pace. He knows where the goal is. And I think we really missed the boat there. We could have probably got him in the summer. But that's hindsight, isn't it, now? But now we are desperate for... It's all right, people saying we need 2. I think we'd all take one really decent striker now who could come in and take that place in the team. But look, these moves are a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, aren't they? One piece moves and then it all sort of falls down sometimes. But I don't know. It might be someone even else.
In terms of Gallagher, obviously, someone's in the chat there, Trevor. It was ahead of Hurst in the pecking order at Blackburn when Hurst was there on loan. Matt doesn't seem overly keen on it. What would your perspective be on Sam Gallagher if that is the man? Obviously, Sam Williams was sent there to watch him yesterday, possibly to increase the deal, possibly to finalise the thought.
It was interesting that them saying that they wanted to shift him and now they don't, and then he's out of contract. So I think in the summer he's got 6 months. So if you're paying 1.5 million now, you're thinking you could probably get him in. But we're desperate. We're in this position. And we're not the only club. I watched the EFL this morning and Schumacher was on there from Stoke and he's looking at players and looking at strikers. It's not a great time to sign them, but we are desperate for somebody. And these clubs know that they are desperate. They need a striker. They're pushing for the Premier League. We can get a few more quid out of Town.
Oh, yeah. But that's January. That's January. It's Christmas Eve over 31 days. That is what the January window is, Matt. It's a... You need reinforcements, either that's to survive relegation or if it's to clinch promotion. Or you imagine even under fire. It could be a situation where you want to back your manager who's under fire. That's what January is. It's an inflated window. And we all said that in the summer that, have they got a plan in terms of increasing the firepower in January? It was going to come at an increased price.
Yeah, I totally agree. But everyone's like, you're right. Everyone is scrambling to try and suit their own agenda, be it, you need players to try and keep you up in the division. We're looking at someone who can lead a line and get us into the top 2. So everyone's sort of scrambling for options. And
he scored yesterday. Ollie Hawkins.
Oh, get him in then.
Yeah.
Get him in.
Is he Mansfield?
No, he's at Gillingham.
Oh, Gillingham, that's right.
Yeah, he nodded one in. 1-1 draw with Forest Green Rovers. I bet that was a classic.
Yeah, classic. Two great clubs.
Everyone is scrambling, aren't they? But I mean, look, Ipswich are in a more of a luxury position where we can actually afford to play part wages. I'm sure that's what we was doing with Brandon Williams out of Man United. It's interesting, like Phil said earlier, like was Sarmiento the Scarlett option replacement? So I would agree with that because that would then move Broadhead into that central position potentially to play tomorrow night. It's either going to be Caden or him, isn't it? Big Gerrard is always off the bench, isn't he? Only a youngster.
Good to see a young player like Gerrard.
Good, yeah.
I think he'll have to be on the bench tomorrow night. I think you have to have him on there. I know he's obviously a kid and he's still pretty green, but you're going to have somebody on there you can throw on for 10, 15 minutes.
Unless this player is signed and sealed and will be announced tomorrow, was signed before 12 o'clock, like Shefki Kuchi at Watford, picked up at the services, scores the winner or whatever it was. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't happen though, you know. But you never know. You've seen young players emerge into a moment where you don't expect it, you know, over the course of football history. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be, you know, the next sensation or anything like that. But you've seen those moments he wouldn't have got.
Dean Bowditch off the bench at Carrow Road, Matt. Do you remember that? Dean Bowditch, 16 years of age.
Dean Bowditch, the hat-trick against Watford, wasn't it, in the wind? I mean, look, you only have to look at, you talk about Will Keane, go full circle. You only got to talk about Marcus Rashford's career. He only got put to the forefront because Keane's injury at United. Keane was like young player of the year at United, does his knee. They bring through Rashford. Look at him now. Serving up school dinners for kids.
Martian 88 says Jackson tomorrow to help play on the break. I've got every faith in Caden. I've always rated Caden. I've always been one of Caden's biggest supporters.
He'll give you a shift at this level. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you saying that through gritted teeth there, Gov? Come on.
I'm saying it through a position where
we're going to Leicester now. We ball percentage tomorrow night will probably be pretty low for Town because he's not that type of striker. You're away from home. You can get the ball into his feet. You can hold the ball up. You can get up the pitch. We're going to be playing him down the sides and behind them, really, with him, aren't we? That's what he offers you.
Yeah, and his biggest one of his biggest assets is when he's asked to play without thinking, which I think centrally resuits him because he's instinctive. We saw that with a finish the other night. It was an instinctive finish. When he's given a bit of time on the ball, that isn't necessarily his strongest attribute. It's when he's in behind and he's got that split instinctive situation to work with. I've always been a big Caden fan. I know he was in part of the bomb squad. He was etc. etc. He's a different player to what we had, but yeah, you don't want to go into many league games with just Caden as your number one.
But Leicester are struggling with their own issues, aren't they? I mean, you know, there's the lad who can't play on the right wing, Fatua.
He's suspended.
Yeah. They've got players at the African Cup of Nations. Dewsbury Hall, question mark. I think you're probably right, Rich. I think he probably will play, but still,
100% he plays.
But it sounds legit that he's not been training. They're talking about playing that Dennis Pratt, I think, the Belgian lad, in midfield, or moving one of their wingers over. Eunice, I think.
Well, you've got that lad's been recalled by Chelsea. I've got him down here. That Casady. He's gone to Chelsea. Dewsbury Hall's doubtful. Yeah. Indeed, he's out till April. Fatu suspended. Daka's at the AFCON with Iheanacho. But you've got Jamie Vardy fit. So there you go.
Get someone passing me Zimmer frame. No, they've lost 2 home games this season, haven't they? They've lost to Leeds at home, they lost to Hull at home, and we battered Hull at home. So look, don't be thinking we're playing Barcelona or Real Madrid. You know, we've got a good as chance as anyone who's gone and visited there this season to get something from it, I think.
Penalty to Leeds, apparently. Oh, I'm not watching the Leeds game. I know you are, Rich. I'm not bothered what Leeds do.
Well, obviously they're ahead of me.
The thing is, I'm not
a penalty on my screen yet.
But I'm not bothered what Leeds do, what Southampton do, what Leicester do. It's what we do.
All in our hands.
You can only control what you do. You can't control what they do.
Well,
you can't.
The 10-point lead has been whittled away. It's gone. That's gone now.
Yeah, because we didn't take care of our own business. Stoke and QPR, 2 games that sort of stick out there for me. But that was always going to be a part of the journey, as people like to tell me, and the process and the season. And Steve says, don't panic, everyone. We are ruining the occasion what the owners want for this season. Sign either loan or permanent one, maybe 2 forwards to try and get promoted, or one loan and stay where we are. Thoughts on Steve's comment there, Matt? Is it because it's saying don't panic to me, like Rich says at the start of the show? And I'm not panicking, but saying don't panic, trust the process. It's the 21st of January. George Hurston's injury back-ended December. We knew we needed a striker through December, through November, probably through October. Where you're starting to get the feeling maybe you need to add to that reinforcements. 21st of January is quite a long. That's 21 days, Matt.
Everyone pitching in for the same players, as we said earlier. It's a scramble, isn't it? I mean, if you've got aspirations for playoffs, you've got aspirations for the top 2, then you're probably looking at the same kind of striking options that's available in the Premier League and coming down on loan. Or do you know what I mean? I mean, as Rich said earlier, dominoes effect in football. You know, one move has to take place for someone else to become available. Someone has to be moved out like a depot to bring in whoever it might be. Someone will come in. I mean, it's not, you know, but don't put all your eggs in that basket. I mean, as we said earlier, like Hurst, yeah, he knows where the goal is, but our goals really have been coming from your Broadheads and your Connor Chaplins. You know, but you said that all along, Mike, didn't you? You said, don't give me a 20-goal striker. Give me players that can score from all over the pitch, and I think we've proven that. And let's not forget, Southampton have gone on a brilliant run, and fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? Breaking 100-year-old records or whatever it is, just to get close to us. But look, don't forget, by the time we kick off tomorrow, we'll be back in second because we'll have the point on the board already. So it's still all in our hands. It's all still in our hands.
Absolutely. And if you fall into the playoffs, it's still an absolutely fantastic season. And Craig says, Ali's gone because Southampton set a club record. Credit where it's due. The issue becomes, Rich, I guess, with your trust the process and the time and don't panic and the chill out, etc., etc., etc. The longer it goes on, do you start running into, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say players' names like this, Gaston had me territory.
I knew you'd say that. Well, he was a gamble, wasn't he?
By Richard Moss
and Colin Plum. We thought he was really good for that one game. Look, it's difficult because whoever comes in, we've just got to get behind him, whoever it is. And I know whoever we sign, whoever we sign will not. It won't. Not everyone will be happy with that because
I could say Leon Best territory there, by the way, as well. Like
that was the biggest downgrade, wasn't it? Murphy to Leon Best.
Yeah.
But it's key. Probably it's key to the rest of the season for us because whoever comes in, they've got to hit the ground running. You know, we can't have 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, we've got to get them up to speed. You know, minutes. I don't want to hear all that. I want them to come in, bang, straight away. You're in that team and you're playing because this is the situation we're in. We've got 19 games to go, so whoever comes in, they've got to play a big part of where we finish. Look, we're going to be in the playoffs, whatever happens, unless we have an absolute fall off a cliff. Well, if we play Norwich, we play Norwich. But I'd be, and nobody should be disappointed if we get in the playoffs because that really should have been probably where a lot of people would have been looking at the start of the season. They wouldn't have been looking at the top two. You know, there'll be a few people saying, "Oh yeah, we could finish top two." Did they really believe that? I don't think they did. If I'm being
But expectations have gone up now, Rich. You spent the majority of the season top and second.
But I did say before Christmas, Town are not going to spend loads of money. And like you said the other day, Matt, on the WhatsApp group, this is over 20 years ago. Our club record was set. We've been overtaken. This is the sad reality of we've been overtaken by lots and lots of clubs who 23 years ago, when we were in the Premier League, look where Brentford, Brighton, Stoke, loads of these teams, you know, where were they then? We've suddenly been on a massive...
Bournemouth had a free-sided ground.
Yeah.
At that point.
We've been on a massive decline. So anybody
thinks... that, this time last year, we were getting beat by Oxford.
Yes, in the fog.
Very true. I mean...
Football moves very quickly in 12 months.
Massively.
Who
knows where we'll be in 12 months' time?
Didn't they
playing Arsenal?
Didn't Bournemouth bring in Ken Wyn-Jones that time to get him over the line?
Yes.
That's the kind of... You know, it's the kind of signature you kind of need. That's what I think that took them over financial fair play as well.
Yeah, it did.
But
did they get any ramifications? Did they get any ramifications of it? Did they get?
I think they got a fine. I think they might have got a fine,
which was probably less than promotion was worth.
Well,
yeah. Like
and they signed Kiefer Moore, Matt, as they signed Kiefer Moore when they were promoted last time.
Yeah,
and he got them over the line.
Yeah, he would be a great signing for us. I do hope it is him. I really do. I just think he gives you all the attributes. Over 100 goals in his career. Scores headers. We don't score enough headed goals for my liking.
My concern with Moore, Matt, is can he do what Hurst does? Because ideally, I'd ask Alan Lee how fit he is. Because I want an Alan Lee. I want a George Hurst, Alan Lee type striker.
Well,
don't really.
Alan Lee was a journeyman though, wasn't he? Let's not.
Yeah, but I'm not bothered by his goal scoring record or if he's had 400 clubs or whatever. What I'm bothered by is can he stick his backside into the centre half, hold that ball up for I'm no disrespect to George Hurst. My 4 better players: Chaplin, Burns, your Hutchinsons, your Broadheads. Because that's what Hurst is all about. He's about sticking his backside in, holding the ball up, and bringing those 4 in.
He want to play with those other Welsh wonders. Surely Burns and Broadhead have been in his era.
But can he do it? That's my question to you. I've not seen enough of Kiefer Moore to say with great confidence that I see him as he's tall, but I don't see him as a hustle bustle, hold that ball up, chase everything that moves. Like George Hurst spends hours chasing shadows. Let's be honest. Hours, but
but that just comes down. Well, that just comes down to fitness, doesn't it? You play the ball into feet, you get it out to the channels, and into the box we go. I don't think it's rocket science particularly. I just think Hurst's involvement and what he brings to the table is magnified so much because his other partner in crime, Ladapo, didn't do that, which is why he's no longer at the club. But look, I get your point, but I certainly think someone of Kiefer Moore's caliber and has played international tournaments and has international caps. He can do that for us.
Marvin Johnson also rumoured.
Odd one,
1.5 million.
Davis.
That was
replacement,
nonsense.
sorry.
It wasn't even a million. Stuart Watson said there was nothing about $1 million. I don't know where that come from.
You're not paying £1 million for a 33-year-old.
No, he's out of contract in the summer.
Nominal fee comes in he comes in and takes the Brandon Williams role, and he's there as cover if Leaf gets injured or whatever.
Well, I don't think he's back for this week because obviously Kieran, I think he's done his press, but there's nothing to say that Brandon Williams is. I don't really know what's happening there. Is he still at United?
The whole Brandon Williams saga is just weird, isn't it?
We need to move on from it. And say thanks very much, but we're going to go down a different.
But does Marvin Johnson sort of signify that? Does that show more
you
than
need
what
cover, don't you?
can be said in a press conference?
You don't really want to be playing Harry Clark on the left side. He's you want to be swapping between him and Twanzebe on the right, I think. But Johnson's the one who elbowed Burns, wasn't it? In the
3-game ban,
the 2-2 game, the bald head free kick game. He'll be good. He's good cover for Leaf. That's all it's going to be. No one ain't paying £1 million for a 33-year-old out of contract in the summer. Ludicrous. But that's social media just sort of fanning flames there, I think, and people believe in it. Turns out to be bullshit.
I'm not sure where it originally came from. I just saw it on.
Yeah.
It came from one of the Sheffield.
I thought so.
Local papers, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. But 33 is 33, right? Yeah, he's in his early 30s.
Yeah.
That doesn't really quite fit the profile.
Stephen Moore levels
of what we normally
sort of Marcus Evans profile.
well, almost. But we're normally all about obviously the buy young, sell high, or buy low, sell high, bring them in young, develop them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a departure from that, Richard.
Well, it's not really, though, is it? Because Keogh come in on the same kind of level.
Just left Wickham.
But you're right. When you actually
play regular, wants to play regular football. He's only played 12 games.
Who wants to sell him?
Where he's going to go? Who's going to get him in January? Someone will snap him up.
Forest Green player manager?
Forest Green. Yeah, Forest Green, most likely.
What a shambles that is. My
Gimmick Club. The Gimmick Club.
Oh,
it's not the full model of what we've got, haven't we? But we have seen pockets where they brought in a Keogh of someone who's at the end of their career.
Well, you've got an Aluko. Sonny Aluko's.
Yeah.
He's at the back end of his career.
Around.
So I think Johnson's a good player. I think he could do a job. He's obviously played.
Short term,
he knows the league. I know. I think sometimes you just got to. Yeah, I know he's 33, but he's fit. He's playing regular. So he could still do a job, and you've got no. I wouldn't say competition, but you've got no cover, have you, for Davis, other than Harry Clark out of position or Cameron Humphreys, who's still learning the role.
Out of position. Yeah.
And you'd rather have someone who can play that side, who knows the league, if you need them.
You don't really want to be going into like you say, Rich, the last 18, 19 games, wherever it is, with square pegs in round holes.
You could get to a playoff game. We could get to a playoff game. Leif Davis gets injured last day of the season.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking Cameron Humphreys could be playing in 3 of the biggest games that we've had for years. Do you really want that? I'm not saying he wouldn't be good enough and he couldn't do a job, because I think he could. But it's a massive ask of him, isn't it?
It's a massive ask on young shoulders. Yeah, absolutely. With the money at stake of getting in there. Yeah, it's a crossroads of your history, isn't it, once you get into the playoffs? I mean, if it is Norwich, bring them on. We can start the shellacking again. It's coming.
They've turned it around big time, to be fair to them. Who saw that yesterday? Beating West Brom? We didn't even touch West Brom when we played them.
I sent Chris a message last night going pathetic. And he said, "Shut up! You've gone down to third." But of course, we go back to second once the ball kicks.
But they've not done a lot since we've actually beat them. They haven't been that great, have they?
He said they were useless yesterday. He said they're really bad in defensively as well. They were like bloody 4 Berazes, weren't they? When we went to the Hawthorns.
Oh, they were awesome.
Like 4 crunches yesterday.
4 Berazes. Me and Martin were playing.
Yeah.
Against Cole Stockton. I see he's gone to Barrow, Martin.
Has he?
Stockton, do you remember when we were talking on here about we need a striker?
We're having a good season, Barrow.
Cole Stockton, they lost yesterday at home to, I don't know who they lost through. To Crew Alexandra.
Oh, okay. They're doing all right. Could be in League One. Fair play to them.
Fair play to them, absolutely. Got 2 questions in the chat. First of all, do you feel Williams is coming back?
No.
Do you feel no? Rich says no.
Matt says no. Yeah, I don't see that.
Okay.
Why is he not back now? Why is he not back at the club if he's coming back? What are we looking at? What are they actually? We're in the second week. He's gone back to Man U to be assessed. What the hell are they looking at?
Yeah.
Was anything asked in the presser for Leicester?
I didn't. Well, I don't know what, because obviously it's a 2 days on. I'm not sure what they've done, but I see a few And he didn't. They haven't even said about Luongo's injury. So
Don't like
He's had,
talking about injuries, do
a
they?
funny town career, isn't he, Williams? Because he started off a bit shaky against Leeds and he scores that own goal against Reading. And then he comes through and scores the goal. Was it Preston, the run that he did?
yeah,
Yeah.
Huddersfield away.
Huddersfield
diving
header.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had moments of playing well, but it's just sort of petted away, isn't it?
So he played against QPR.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, I've lost track of what
He
the
was on the
official
bench
line
against
is.
Stoke. He was on the bench
On
at
the
Stoke.
bench.
Played poorly against QPR, didn't he? In that kind of
Was
makeshift
ill.
team.
Was ill when we went to Wimbledon.
Illness,
Yeah.
right. Okay, right.
Now he's
Yeah.
gone to Man
And they've gone
U
back.
to be. He had some soft
Assessed.
tissue injuries. He was to be assessed, and Kieran said they'd have to make a call on him. So I think the writing's on the wall, isn't it? Really, because I think he would have been back at the club now, and he'd probably be on the bench tomorrow night if they were going to keep him.
Big shame because I was really
It's a shame.
starting to grow like him. He was starting to become a town cult character almost. With he had that Instagram post, didn't he?
The Norwich connection, yeah.
It was all roses.
Yeah.
It's really real disappointment, but that's
Yeah.
sometimes how football goes.
Yeah.
We got a Charlie says morning from New Zealand, couldn't sleep. Welcome in, Charlie. Hopefully we won't stick you back to sleep, but we'll wait to see.
Yeah.
What's the weather?
if
What's the weather in down there in that? Was it land of the long white cloud, man?
Nice.
Yes.
Ever
It's
been
like-
to New Zealand?
Love to go there. Not been there. Charlie, if you got room, I'll be
It's like
there
Wales,
in a
apparently.
couple of
It's
weeks.
like Wales, hilly with sheep.
So
Then
if you
he's
go
one
to
of me-
Wales, you just
They're one of my favourite cricket teams. I like the Kiwis.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, good, yeah,
Black
yeah.
Caps.
Yeah.
By the
that's
way,
very good.
7 p.m. Wednesday.
I've mentioned it already. Good plug.
England-India preview. Harry Brook out the series. We will talk
Yeah.
about that on Wednesday. Ian and Neil, Grumpy Neil, Sheffield
Brilliant.
Wednesdays.
Love Grumpy Neil.
biggest fan.
And Ian.
Yeah. A little bit of chat in the chat. A little bit of chat in the chat about Leif Davis. Someone said, I think it was Colin said he might go for 20 to 30 million. Or no, sorry, here we go. Davis will not go for less than 20. Whereas
Where's
Paul
he
P
going? Where's he going?
says sorry, but no way do we get 20 to 30 million for Davis. Totally untried at Premiership level. What would you put the price on, Leif Davis?
So was Adam Webster. So was Adam Webster totally untried at Premier League level, and he went for 25 million. And that
Yeah.
was Mark Ashton at Bristol City. So
Yeah,
he's
bit like-
going for no less than 20.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wonder
We've got him under contract, Matt. We ain't
Yeah.
going to be.
He's
We're
our
not going to have
player.
our pants pulled down here.
No. Not on what Ashton's watch. No, I agree.
No
with that.
chance.
20 mil. I'd be interested to see where he ends up. Even if he goes, won't go if he sticks with us into the Premier League. Hopefully,
Yeah.
chip
If
you
we
out, Davis in.
But then even in modern day football, if you get promoted, does that mean he's definitely 100% going to
No.
be staying?
No, I wouldn't even put. Even if we got promoted, I wouldn't be surprised if he left.
Well, yeah, like the carrot of European football with a club. Absolutely. I mean, look, you're qualifying for is it that Conference League, where it's called down in 7th, 8th, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Look, that's a great deal. What did we pay for him? $1 million? He goes for
1.5,
20
I think.
times. Then he goes for 20 times. Brilliant.
Yeah.
People
Charlie
always
says
get-
Leif.
Well,
Go on.
people always get worried, don't they? Because like the season how we had sold Dyer in that summer, 6 mil, whatever it was to Newcastle, we then bought in other players and we got promoted into
McGreal come in. Jermaine Wright. And this is where I think we probably would break our transfer record. If we sell him for 20, 25 million,
Yeah.
we've got that in the bank, and then we can go and spend. Well, you look at the team we're playing tomorrow night. Tom Cannon, right? He was on loan at Preston last year, Matt, from Everton. Scored a few goals. He went for 8 million. So
Crazy.
if you're wanting to get a decent striker,
Yeah.
you've got to pay through the nose for it. You ain't getting no one nowadays. And this is why last season we were lucky. We were the big fish, weren't we? In League One in January.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. We got you. We got Broadhead, 1.5, Clark, Luongo, George Hurst. Brilliant. But now, like you said earlier, Matt, and I think there was a comment in the chat about Kiefer Moore, there's loads of teams in the mix for the same players.
And we're not used to paying fees. We said earlier, was it on the back of the North Stand? Robson bought 13, 14 players in his 13-year tenure. And we've not spent huge fees being outside the Premier League and treading water under Evans in the Championship and then getting relegated. So our record fees, 4.5? That
Yeah.
Tom Cannon's gone for double.
Yeah, and he's got more. He's untested at this level. In terms of what he brings.
Yeah.
It's that ability, that potential. You're looking to move on for eventual bigger fees or take you to bigger
And
places.
they can afford it as well, Martin, can't they?
Yeah.
Leicester coming down, they can sign a Tom Cannon. He might score, I think he's got 2 or 3 goals. He'd been injured. Say he scores 8 to 10 goals, fires them to the Premier League. He's probably not going to be good enough for the Premier League. But he's one of them ones where they've got that parachute money. And they can spend an 8 million and we'll have a gamble on him. And it's job done if he gets them promoted.
Yeah.
What's Norwich's record transfer fee? They must have.
Well, Ricky Van Wolfswinkel went for
8 million. That Stephen Naismith was quite expensive when they signed him.
He was.
It goes to show, doesn't it? It just shows you how far we've fallen over the last 20 years. Well, Norwich has paid huge fees, for the status of their club.
Do you feel football is heading towards sort of a crossroads at the moment? Because we're talking about FFP here. This is really sort of the reasons why you're looking at it. Then, well, you might have a lot of money in the bank, like Town do, but you've got to work within the parameters of the FFP. Premier League, they've got very similar. But as the charges start to come for some clubs and not others,
Stephen Naismith, 9.1 million.
There you go.
There you go. Look, their highest transfer fee received was for Emil Buendia, went to Villa for 33 million.
Whew.
Wow.
So this is how your football club can change when you say we sell a Leaf Davis for 25 million. You've got that money and you can invest it back in.
Paul says, how does FFP work with the fees being paid over a few years? It's split over the life of the contract, I believe, Paul. So if you get a £5 million player for a 3-year deal, you can split it over the 3 years. It's my understanding of it. I'll double check, but that's my understanding of it. But
there's no way we'd ever fall into financial fair play. I mean, that Ed Schwartz and Ashton run too tight a ship for that to happen.
Well, absolutely. But do you feel football's heading towards a crossroads where this is really going to come under scrutiny and possibly a collapse in itself? Because
the collapse of Man City could be one.
Well, but that's not seemingly on the horizon, whereas other clubs are. And is it a case of almost like a peasant's revolt, where the little clubs are starting to realise, well, we're getting hammered here because we're a smaller club. This is actually designed now to keep the big teams big and us small.
Well,
are they going to get
say
together?
about Everton? Everton are not a small club, are they?
No, not small.
They are compared to City, United, Chelsea.
So how much were they allowed to overspend in 3 years? It's a certain amount in the Premier League.
I can look it up, but I think
they overspent by 300 million. Is that what?
Yes, they've not just overspent by a little bit.
No,
they have overspent, and not Forest, Matt. Surely, when I was looking at Forest last season, they're spending all this wedge. You're thinking, surely you can't keep doing it.
Well, I mean, it's just not sustainable. I mean, it's ludicrous levels of sustainability, isn't it? How can it be 300 million in debt and then plus whatever else it's going to be, right?
You look at our level. We're bringing potentially, water pistols to a to a gunfight, and Southampton, Leeds, and Leicester, because they have fouled. What they have done is fouled in getting relegated. Are able to go out there and get the finest weaponry. Like,
yeah, it's a joke, isn't it? We never got parachute payments when we got relegated, by the way. So we went into administration because we spent the ITV digital money. I had no choice.
How was that? How does Ipswich? How does West Brom? Or not, perhaps not West Brom. Well, they might be out there parachute payments now. But other teams that haven't got that luxury, how is that a fair balanced competition?
I tell you what it reminds me of, Rich, when we were talking about the Big Bash cricket, when you said, oh, well, if you lose the semi-final in the cricket in Australia, you get another bite at the cherry. And it's kind of rewarding a bit of failure, isn't it? Like you said, mine, we've been relegated for a purpose because you were crap. But then we're going to give you all this wedge just so you can bounce back. I mean, it's giving you another a second chance, isn't it? I don't really agree with it, to be honest with you. But I mean, that is the Premier League is so much higher than everybody else in terms of the resources and the finance that they get. And it doesn't filter down into the Football League particularly. That it's almost not sustainable for them to get relegated. Hence, they have to have this cushion. But it's ludicrous. It just shows you the gap. It's ludicrous. You don't get this in Germany because there's no more money in the Bundesliga because of the club ownership, which is why you have the Bundesliga team that's finishes third from bottom plays the team that's third in Bundesliga 2 over a playoff because it's so much tighter.
Yeah, and the gap's too big here. Yeah, that would never work.
That's why you have to have parachute payments. Otherwise, they'll probably go under.
Who's top of the Bundesliga? Is it Leverkusen?
Yes, I think. I've not seen
Xavi Alonso.
Yeah, he's Xavi Alonso.
And when he came in, they were really, really struggling, weren't they?
Yeah.
He's doing a fantastic job there.
He'll probably be the next Liverpool manager, I would have thought.
He'll be picked.
He's doing a very good job there.
Someone will pop him.
Yeah.
Parachute payment should be ring fenced. It should be for off-field operations. Your on-field should be you have to reduce your budget to the level you're going down to. If that's by player sales. If that's by wage, because most clubs now also have a wage policy where relegation means your wage comes down. So it's not like we're living in a world where you haven't got that. I think Norwich were big ones of those where if we got relegated, certain players or all the squad dropped by a certain percent, I think, or whatever. But parachute should be ring fenced for off-field operations only to keep jobs for people off the field, the admin staff, the ticketing staff, the hospitality, as your demand
I agree,
comes
yeah.
in,
Yeah, I agree with that.
to adjust that, to
You
adjust
don't-
to your.
Which is why you get
news
you're right,
surroundings.
Mike, and that's why you get the domination in English football, isn't it? And you don't get that in American sports. Like you always get, very rarely do you get the same club winning the Super Bowl over and over again. If you look through its history, did so the World Series in baseball because it's done in cycles. Whereupon the parachute payments are kind of designed to think, you've got relegated. Don't worry, it's some wedge. You'll be back at the top table within 12 months. That's kind of how it works, isn't it?
Just give them 10
Unbelievable.
points head start. Like just give them 10 points for failing. Yeah, here's 10 points. Start the season all plus 10, and
certainly when before, so pre-92, obviously Leeds United were the last winners, weren't they, of the first division before it became the Premier League. And it was much more competitive. Look, Wimbledon finished 6th, didn't they, in the division, 88 or whatever, when they won the cup. You had more clubs competing for those European spots. You don't really get it now. I know Brentford and your Wolves and Brighton are knocking on
Villas.
the door. And Villa, yeah, fair play to Villa. Fair play to Villa. I mean,
but they spent some wedge.
Huge club that was underachieving,
Massive
wasn't
club.
it?
you mean they're not a Bournemouth fairy tale?
I don't give you that against Bournemouth. When you said
The
about
Bournemouth fairy
when you said
tale.
about the Bournemouth fairy tale and they're signing Kenwyn Jones, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
really? I'm not having that.
Yeah.
Plenty of money gone in there.
It's
But
a
look,
fairy tale.
if we get promoted and we're in the mix, getting the Premier League money, then it will be someone else's problem, won't it? Because we'll be at the top table there for however long it might be. But
And then we come down and the conversation changes as to
yeah, exactly. It's just
Crimea River.
It's your own agenda, isn't it? Yeah, we'll be saying, give us those parachute payments so we can get back there.
Give it.
But look, football is bigger than just the Premier League. I mean, what we've got in English football, the pyramid from the Premier League down to League Two into the non-league, is very rarely replicated in any other country. I mean, like just the FA Cup shows you that the competition there's so many clubs in it, 750 clubs. It has to start in August. No one else has got that. So I think English football needs to be protected, but maybe that independent regulator can help with that moving forward. But we'll have to wait and see.
And as a bit of a Marmite character to Town fan Andy Holt, go and look at his tweets this week, particularly where he's mentioning the situation at Accrington Stanley and how he's pressing the local MP for this independent regulator and just sort of what it means to own a football club in 2024. Really, it's a difficult time for those clubs at the bottom.
He's got his own agenda, isn't he? Because look, we've had Andy Holt on a couple of times, and he's given us his time and brilliant. And I think he's the kind of chairman. If he's your chairman, he's someone you're going to love. But he's got his own agenda. How do I keep Accrington Stanley in the Football League and not go down the divisions back into the non-league where we came from? So look, everyone's looking at self-preservation, aren't they? But I think Andy Holt is someone who would look at the bigger picture of how can we protect the Football League and not all the money going into the Premier League. It does have to change. They did say it would change with the next round of broadcast deals. I mean, doesn't the next one kick in next season when we could be kicking off at weird Thursdays at 7 o'clock or something to accommodate television? Yeah,
I think so. If you're enjoying the chat, you can join this sort of level of chat in our Discord, but become a Discord member. You have to be a YouTube member or head to our Kofi and sign up. $4.99 a month. Cancel at any point, and then you get access to the Discord via a link. And this is the sort of conversation you get in there. I had
to pull the Driscoll card this week, Rich. It's getting a bit tasty in the Discord. Yeah, I said, look, listen, the Driscoll brothers are admins.
Hang on. Who, was it Steve Barry?
I'm not mentioning any names, but he got a little tasty. He got a little tasty.
2-0 to Town. 2-0 to Town women, by the way, away at Barnet. Mike Woods is Mike Woods there because he's just messaged me.
Oh, it could well be. I don't know. I've not looked at me phone. He could well be. He's coming around here tomorrow. Ipswich Leicester.
We're on the beers again.
The Driscoll boys had to get the police the four. I've missed all this obviously because I don't go in.
We didn't want everyone getting upset. Do you know what I mean? Have a nice discussion and then go and have a cup of tea. That's my kind of take on it.
If you fancy joining us, hit the join button on YouTube or go to Kofi. $4.99 a month. You won't see me there, but you can see these two, obviously. I'm far too busy.
We'd like to dip in, have a conversation, see what's going on.
Too busy. He said he's been watching TV all week.
Yes, been watching Bleeding Star Trek. I've been watching a lot of snooker this week. How is the snooker
Star
going?
Trek?
It was 1-0 to Trump. Did we watch Gladiators last night, guys?
Not yet. Don't ruin it for me.
Very good. I like it.
I just want big break back now. Big break.
They need to be a bit more nastier, though.
I'd love that.
Need to be a bit more nastier, the Gladiators. They're too nice at the minute.
They were last week. Yeah, I agree with that.
They should use fists, I think. I don't like these big cotton bud things. I mean, I want blood. Put it on after 9 o'clock.
No, man. It's not UFC.
After 9 o'clock, the sound of knuckle upon cheekbone.
Break.
Last week,
also known as the UFC.
Yeah, but last week, the gauntlet, they beat the
Yeah.
gauntlet hands down, and all the gladiators giving the contestants hugs and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, not having
no,
that.
have some pride in yourselves. You got beat. You should be angry.
So last week, you know when they run up that travelator, I think the guy had failed twice. Do you reckon they turned it down a little bit to let him get up there?
I said that to the missus. I said, they've turned that down a little bit. I'm sure they have.
That's what I thought.
Where are they filming this? It's in Sheffield, isn't it? Is that the university there? Is that where they're filming it?
No, it's at the. I'm not sure what the arena's called.
Oh, like one of
I've
the version of like Wembley Arena or something.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
It used to be the NEC, didn't it? In Birmingham.
That was
Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
That's where it was.
Well, I'll give you a snooker update, Matt, because I'm just looking.
I've really enjoyed the snooker.
Oh, we've got the adverts on.
But I've
He's
been
really
well
into
up for a big
snooker.
break.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
back
be well up
into
for
it.
a
Big break I used to
Is-
love. Yeah.
Martin says that snooker is not a sport.
It's not a sport.
But it's on
Not a
Sky
sport.
Sports, Eurosport.
So what? And it's not a sport.
Yeah.
It's not a sport. You sit down for too long, and if you sit down for too long, you get bad back. If you get bad back, you need to go
All right,
to
then.
stone
It's
market osteopaths.
It's Formula One. Right. I'm ruining your segue here.
You
But it's
are there.
Formula One a sport as well. They're sat down too.
I would say no, it isn't a sport,
Oh, okay. But
personally.
get back to Stone Market Osteopaths.
But again, yeah, and gladiator. Obviously, if you've taken on the gladiators, or if you fancy
That's a
being
sport.
one, you're going to need to look after your body. Head to Stone Market Osteopaths. As Adi says in the chat there, says Stone Market Osteopaths need to mention go to about gladiators. I did miss that, to be fair. Thanks, Adi, for bringing it
I
to my
could s-
attention.
I
Is
could
darts
see-
a sport? Hell no.
Yes,
Hell no.
absolutely.
Hell
That's
no.
a sport. Of
Come on,
course
Luke
it is.
Littler.
Luke
Come on,
Littler,
Luke Littler.
I could
Darts
sit and watch
is not a
snooker all day.
sport.
I could sit and watch snooker all day. In fact, I used to around my granddad's back in
Yeah,
the
but
80s.
if you went to a snooker hall
Horse
7 days a
racing.
week,
It's
9
horse
till
racing
9,
sport.
you could be on there.
Horse racing a sport?
No. No.
That's what Sky
No,
Sports
no.
as well, isn't it?
For me, a sport has got to get your heartbeat at a certain level. You actually got to
Adrenaline.
sweat from physical activity. For me,
Oh, my Lord. It's 4-0 to Judd Trump, Matt.
What the hell's going on?
I
this
mean,
is
if we're
incredible.
honest, boys, if
I
we're
did
honest,
tell you the other
cricket
day. Did tell you you'd win it, didn't I? The other day.
if we're honest,
Come
boys,
Come on, Ron.
Cricket's not a sport.
it's borderline. It's on that border. It's on
Come
that border.
You're running
Because-
after the ball.
Listen
You're
up,
throwing
mate.
the ball
What
in.
are you on about?
Take the batsman out. Take the bowler out. Everyone else is stood around, just they could be having a pack of crisps in the sun. Like, what are they doing?
Hold on
You
a
watch
minute.
cricket and they're
Hold on.
talking
You
to the
loved the
crowd.
cricket last year.
They're
You
talking
loved
to
it.
the
he was all
crowd.
over it. He was all over the Ashes.
He
wasn't
loved
he?
the
He was all
Ashes.
over it.
You loved
Any
it.
sport where your fielders can go and talk to the crowd for 20 minutes,
Baseball's the same.
are they actually involved? Are they actually
Baseball. You got everyone on base. You got everyone out in the outfield.
What about NFL?
Oh,
that's
definitely a
good.
sport.
Yeah,
Everyone's involved in that, and that hurts.
yeah.
Having
Yeah.
played it for.
I'll
for
tell you
20
what I was
minutes,
watching
that
last
hurt.
night. It was the snooker had finished, Matt, and I had ITV. I think it was free on, and they had some of the best bits from Coronation
I
Street.
watched that. I never
Wow.
knew that. I never
The
knew
tram-
Ken had strangled
crash,
Deirdre
yeah.
over Mike Baldwin.
Yeah,
Baldwin was a dirty dog, wasn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
then
was.
Baldwin, and Kenna, yeah, it was
Molly
great.
Dobbs.
Right.
Molly Dobbs, do you remember?
Remember that
With
50th
Kevin.
anniversary?
Oh,
Tram crash.
Yeah,
Kevin's
yeah.
the dad. Kevin's the dad, and
Richard Hillman, Norman Bates with the briefcase.
Oh,
Yeah. We watched this. This is when I was watching Coronation
Hello,
Street. Is it
Gail.
still as good? Is it still as good now?
Yeah, I don't see
Hillman. Hillman was one of my favourite baddies. He
Yeah,
was.
he was
Quite, did he die in the car that went in the lake?
Yeah, and
Hillman.
the famous line from Gal to him is that you're like Norman Bates but the briefcase. Like that's one of the
a great
famous
line.
lines.
That's probably the
it is-
inspiration for it, wasn't it?
it is a great line.
Yeah.
A week
But
off from Guns.
Ken throwing the smackdown on Deirdre. My God, don't remember this.
Yeah,
Baldwin.
yeah, it's a great story. Great storylines in Coronation Street.
Underworld.
I'm more than
Just
standard
about
guy there.
There's a great scrap on there, Matt. They showed last night in the Rovers
Oh, yeah, in the
return. He
Rovers,
was
yeah.
absolutely. He got chinned, didn't he? Ken
Yeah,
Barlow.
yeah, God, yeah, right
Wow.
over the tables. Right over the table. The best
Kabaddi.
sport is kabaddi.
I'm with Matt Stannard. I
Good-
caught
good
that once
that
on
is.
Sky by accident. Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Very good sport. Yeah, I agree.
That's what gladiator should be, Matt.
You have to keep saying kabaddi, don't you? Kabaddi.
Kabaddi.
Pigeon racing, is that a
Done
sport?
already.
No, Mike. Pigeon racing is not a sport.
Oh, he's
No.
Mike Woods
Otherwise-
now. You know, I
Otherwise,
thought-
we could
no,
include budgergar breeding. I'm a sportsman, finally. Finally.
It's a
I'm a
pastime,
sport-
isn't it? I would say. It's a fine line.
It's a
If you
it's a
enjoy it,
hobby.
just enjoy it. Don't worry about this discussion. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Live and let live. But it's a hobby.
Yeah,
like-
okay.
Chess.
Chess.
Just putting it out there.
Mm.
Chess is not a sport either. Don't even go with chess.
It's a game. That's just a game. That's a board game.
Yeah. It's like Monopoly. You know?
Yeah.
wouldn't class that as, you wouldn't class
Same
that
as
as sport,
Scrabble.
would you?
The best game ever invented is Scrabble. I love it. I just play it on my phone all day.
You don't go to work on January the 5th and say, "What did you do over Christmas?" Oh, I was a big sportsman, play Monopoly. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just
No,
Yeah.
I watched the darts that
Yeah.
everyone's watching, apart from him up there. I can't believe you didn't watch it.
It was
It's
really good.
unbelievable.
No, not me. Right, back to Leicester.
Ooh.
Leicester on Monday night. Tomorrow night, we've got the match reaction show at full time. Do join us. However, how are we going to do? Who's in the lineup? Obviously, Aladki will be in goal, much to the annoyance of Mike, the fisherman, I'm sure.
Barring injury.
Barring injury, of course.
Whoever knows. Who knows?
I think they've been to Dubai. They've been to Dubai, haven't they, Town?
What? Have they?
Yeah,
Have
I think they've been over there this week, had a little bit of sun.
Winter sun. Love that.
Yeah.
And someone said on Twitter, well, we wouldn't have been doing no deals. We've been in Dubai. And I'm thinking, just because we're in Dubai, we can
You've got
still...
this thing-
I think
got this thing called
Mark
the
Ashton's
phone.
there. I think
Yeah.
Mark Ashton's there.
Well, but does he pay for roaming? That's the question.
Wow.
International
Where's he had
roaming.
his phone turned off like I would do abroad? You know,
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
off aeroplane mode.
You've got your phone switched off in Stowmarket, let alone bloody when you go on holiday.
True. It's true. So, okay. Do you reckon Andy Warren went with them? Because that's a great gig, isn't it?
You've got to be on the gig, haven't you? There's nothing better than winter sun. Like, I used to go on holiday
You've
for
got to be
10 a week.
doing,
Brilliant.
some filming for Town TV, surely, out there.
Up the job spec. You get a week in
Come
Dubai.
on.
Yeah, it's got to be. Well, where's all the content if they have gone? I don't know.
That's awesome. Oh, I wish I'd
Getting
gone
ready
for
for
the
the
job
Leicester
now.
game. They've got acclimatised now to the cold in Leicester tomorrow night.
That's
That's
mild
true.
now. It's mild.
I remember
Storm.
flying back from Tenerife at Christmas time.
Oh,
and I
we've
was
heard
in
this one before.
shorts,
We've heard
landed
this
at
one before.
Stansted, had to scrape the bleeding ice off the car, didn't I? I was shivering like crazy. Mental.
Agreed, Ben Hobbs. Absolutely agreed. 100% agree with that. Woody Wood says
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Matt. I agree with it.
Don't get me
Woody
started
Wood-
on this.
No, I won't. Woody Wood, draw tomorrow. Best we can hope for, I'm afraid. Just can't see a win in this one, though, if we did. All right, so
Oh.
who's your back? What?
Oh, if we win tomorrow night, I mean, that would be scenes, wouldn't it, at full time?
Absolute scenes.
Big scenes. I fancy us, which probably means we're going to get beat 2-0.
Let's see what the odds are. What are the odds? What are the bookies?
Because last time I fancied us was West Brom away.
I think, are we going to trot the line out? This is a good time to play Leicester.
We weren't hopeful against West Brom. Only you, Martin, were, but I think you've been drinking the night before. That was the issue.
No, I hadn't been drinking. That was
It's
the
got to
issue.
be a good. It's got to be a good time to play them with the players they've got out. I know we've got players out as well.
Absolutely.
This is the only thing. If we had a full team, I still think it's a very
So,
hard
Leicester-
game. If we bring anything home, I think we're doing well tomorrow night. I really
Leicester
do.
is 17-20. The draw is 13-5. We're 3-1. We're
3-1.
It's okay. So they're going in as favourites, but let's see. Let's wait and see. Look, we can't afford to be like we were against Leeds.
Oh, I've got my fucking
With the
Leeds
Barker.
mates. My Leeds mates. Pressures of Charlie, who comes on my cricket show. Pressures on you guys after this weekend's results. There's no pressure on us,
There's
Charlie.
No pressure on
Don't
us.
be
We'll still be
silly.
third regardless.
Charlie says,
Lose.
just
draw
put
with
10
second.
men behind the ball for one. We're not going to do that, though, are we? That's not a town
No,
philosophy,
we don't
is
play
it?
like that. We don't play like that. This is not Mick McCarthy.
We were we didn't play very well against Leeds, and also we gave away the pen. We gave away it was a pen, wasn't it? Own goal. I mean, look, it was just everything wrong that day. But McKenna's proven to be very good at learning from mistakes, and
We need to start well. We
do you mean?
really need to start well. Like you say, West Brom away, early goal from a
Disaster.
corner. Leeds
Disaster.
away, early goal from a corner. We can't be giving them
no.
a cheap goal tomorrow night
corner
in the
is
first
early.
quarter of an hour. We can't do that because then the game gets a lot harder. Just hang in there. Stay in the game.
We're
Even though
guaranteed to go
half-time
1-0
we're
down
happy.
now, Rich. Guaranteed. Every week you say, you
We
sit here
said
and
that
say, you've got
before.
to start
We
fast.
said,
You've got to start
we said that
fast.
against Leeds in the preview show and it happened.
This-
But we've just
this-
got. We can't make mistakes like that, mate. If we want to be in the top two come the end of the season, we've got to go to these places and we've got to get a result.
Actually put in a good performance.
Yeah.
Certainly, Leicester's going to be weaker than the side I think they brought to Portman Road. I mean, we've got a draw. Albeit maybe a lucky draw in the end. Although we probably, I hate saying we deserved it, but in the end, the pressure told, and we got the draw. But look, we played very well against them in the second half, albeit at home with the crowd behind us. You know, you've got to take those moments and take it to them tomorrow. I don't even know what their ground's called now. Is it called King Power? Is that what the ground's called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to call it Filbert Street. Remember Filbert Street?
that's a throwback.
Right.
So who's your, is it Wolfenden and Fridge? Or Axel at
Oh,
right
yes.
back? How you
I'll see a bit of talk that they reckon Axel might play instead of Wolfie. But I think Wolfenden's we've been here before, Martin, with Wolfenden stepping out of the team, and he stepped out against Leeds, and we shipped 4 goals. So I don't really see the need to change the back four. I think he got a little bit too clever there, Kieran, trying it in certain games. Fridge is going to be playing, I'd have thought, Matt, because he's played really well, and he's 3 games.
Fair play to him, yeah.
Wolfenden's one of your mainstays, so we don't want another fresh partnership playing away, do we? Fridge and Axel, don't think they played together, have they?
Not the week off, and
what was the back four, albeit polar opposites in opposition, but what was the back four at Wimbledon? It was Twanzebe.
He was right back.
Fridge, and then who played?
Cameron Humphreys.
Oh, Cameron played there. Perhaps Harry Clark would come in. I could see Twanzebe going to right back in this game, and then maybe having well, hopefully Leaf will be fit to play, but maybe Harry Clark would go there. Then you've got the option of Cameron from the bench. I don't like either of those two playing left back particularly, but if Leaf is injured, so be it. What else can you do?
Davis is not injured.
Oh, he's not injured. He's okay.
Played last week against Sunderland. What were you doing?
I thought you said there was a question mark around it earlier. Oh, well, I misheard. Oh, if Leaf's there, fantastic. And if Twanzebe on the other side. Yeah.
You've been drinking them Colchester beers? You've been drinking them Colchester beers? And Mark Woods has been
got one left over. Martins haven't been drunk. They're still here.
You said you thought you'd have drunk them.
No, not mine.
Midfield, Massimo had the ankle. We've not really heard that much. Travis and Massimo, Travis and Taylor. What should
it's going to be Travis and Taylor, isn't it? It's Taylor's time to step up. He's got to be better than he was last week. Big game on the TV. Come on, Jack, go and show us.
So what's the latest with Luongo then?
We don't know, Matt.
I think he's
because we said earlier. Well, no, they haven't said anything about him.
Haven't said anything.
Okay.
Don't know about Taylor. I've not liked him in the games we've played against teams.
We ain't got nothing else. We ain't got nothing else. He played Don Ball.
Let's go Dom and Travis.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe Travis would allow Taylor to get further forward. I mean, he's not that kind of player, is he, Travis? He'll certainly be playing. Good debut against Sunderland.
I wouldn't be surprised if Don Ball starts tomorrow night instead of Taylor.
You wouldn't be surprised?
No, I wouldn't.
That'd be very defensive, wouldn't it?
The process.
That would be very defensive. But we don't know how much, we really don't know what that Leicester side's going to be like. And, at least Taylor gives you the option from shooting from distance.
It'll still be pretty decent, Matt. It'll still be pretty decent.
Yeah, it'll be decent.
They've got players out.
Well, yeah, if they're bringing that Dennis Pratt in, I mean, he's like...
They're not bad,
he's played in the Premier League and for Belgium, presumably. But yeah, look, Taylor, I don't want to do Taylor down. I think he's a good player. And he certainly gives you an option from distance. But Luongo just gives you a little bit more of a shift for me. But, Travis is obviously just a defensive midfielder. So that would maybe give Taylor a little bit of license to get involved more.
And then she played
without doubt.
Previously, didn't they? They were the two that started against... crumbs, help me out. It was the last game. Sunderland, thank you very much. So they've got that little bit of a partnership starting where they've played already together in a night in a 60.
Yeah, I think they probably Don Ball. I was tongue in cheek. I think you go with Taylor, and you got to trust Jack Taylor. You paid money for him. You chased him for bloody 6-9 months.
Yeah,
get him in
there. You're playing a system that doesn't really suit him, but where's the logic in that? But okay,
just go. I
disagree with that. I think it does suit him. I think he's coming into like tomorrow. It's a big game against a strong opposition. He's not coming against Sheffield Wednesday, for example, or coming in against the team that's struggling at the bottom 6. It's end
to end.
I don't think it'll be end to end. I think it'll be a lot of Leicester having a majority of the ball.
Yeah,
and we have to be
keep Mavididi quiet, haven't you? I mean, he doesn't need much of an option to shoot, and he did obviously in the game.
Is that why you're playing Axel right?
Well, I think Axel probably brings a little bit of pedigree there for you. I mean, look, if Harry Clark plays there, fair enough. I mean, hopefully he can do the job. But Axel right back away, he's a bit like a Titus Bramble figure, isn't he? He's got something about him. He's stocky. Yeah, I'd maybe have him against Mavididi. He's a good player.
Ben Hobbs, sort of saying what I was sort of saying there in a much better way. Taylor was starting in some tough games, Southampton, West Brom, Sunderland, etc. Like he's not. It's tough to be a player that's playing off the bench for 10 minutes and then thrusted into that starting line. I mean, it's not an easy thing.
No, but that player hasn't been given that license, and now he's been shipped out. Yeah, but it is what it is. Look, Taylor played fantastic. Let's hope he has a great game, gets forward, can shoot around the edge of the box. That's where he seems quite comfortable to me.
And I guess the 4 ahead of them, matters on the strikers. Who's your striker going to be, first of all? Is it Caden? Is Jackson for you? Jackson for you, Matt, or are you going Broadhead?
No, I'm going to go Broadhead, me, and I'll have Sarmiento out on the left.
Okay. Rich, if Jackson starts, you're keeping Broadhead left, Burns right, Chaplin central. Is that your three behind?
I think you're picking them four. I don't see Sarmiento starting, not away at Leicester. And Broadhead's only played there like a few minutes here and there. I don't think you're going to trust him in a big game like this, in a position that you might need him later on in the game there, Matt, maybe when Jackson comes off.
It's a bit of a coin, because if you are playing Sarmiento, he's quick, Broadhead's quick, Caden's quick. So I mean, at least it suggests to me that pace is going to be the only option in actual fact up top. So let's see how Leicester combat that. But they're certainly beatable. I mean, bloody hell, Hull have beaten them, and at home at the King Power, and so have Leeds. They've lost more games than we have. And he lost 3, and he lost to 2 clubs all season.
Just look at how we ended the game against them previously. Sure, that actually give you a whole lot of confidence, Rich.
Yeah.
We finished it really strong. And if we played for 10, 15 minutes more, I fancied our chances of winning that game.
I think Leicester were in second gear that night, if I'm being honest. I think we played really well second half and we deserved the point. But I think
they switch it great, don't they?
To go to the King Power tomorrow night and get a result, we've got to be nearly perfect, I think, all over the pitch. Defensively.
Well, that's working on the premise that Leicester are going to be top notch and they're going to be perfect. I mean,
they've lost 2 games at home. They've won 13, I think. So just because they've lost to Hull early on in the season, which is probably a good time to play them, and then they lost to Leeds. So I agree with Matt there. They did shift down a gear. I think if we can be, if they're going to score a goal tomorrow night, Leicester, let it be a worldie. Let's not give anything cheap away, like a poor set piece or anything. And when we get our chances, guys, I think
clinical.
Exactly.
Got to be clinical, which is why maybe Taylor's a good option from range.
But I'll bite your hand off now if you give me a point.
Yeah, me too. But look, they were great, Leicester, when they came. They switched the ball great. Mavadidi's really good. Doesn't need much back left on the edge of the box to beat Helafi.
I think if Dewsbury Hall doesn't play, I think
bonus.
That is but I'd still expect him to. I know the manager's saying, he's doubtful, but that was on Friday.
Well, Maresca can't be on the bench either, can he? He's going to be up in the stands. Whether or not that will have an influence, don't know. Probably not. They've got decent players, but all these little things add up, don't they? Over 90 minutes.
You two say Leicester shifted down a gear. I say Town shifted up a gear or two.
I agree with that as well. Yeah. I think they were trying to coast it, weren't they, by just playing possession football, and we just showed.
If they'd have got the penalty, if they'd have got the penalty, which they should have done. I know Gov still says it's not a penalty, but
it's not a penalty.
Smiling.
Either or.
9 times out of 10, I think that's a penalty. We got away.
I said the other day, referee against Sunderland got it bang on. Everyone said I was wrong. Turns out later that penalty shout was actually an incredibly good decision. Was
the one on Amari?
Yeah.
He's got the whistle in his mouth ready to blow. I think he's massively. It doesn't matter anymore if you get the ball or not. It doesn't matter. He's wiped him out. He's wiped him out there. It's a dangerous tackle. Yeah, then against Sunderland, did we watch him Friday night? What a dog shit
awful
appointment that was. Michael Beale.
Terrible. Terrible. They look terrible. They've got rid of Mogo and gone down the table.
February the 13th, Sunderland till I die, Matt. It's out.
Interesting.
Next series.
Yeah, they don't look good. I think Matt Stannard said to one of the lads on Discord, said take Clark out, and they look very ordinary. But listen, look, you talk about set pieces and things. I mean, this is where we've got to make count away from home against Leicester. We scored from one last week, didn't we? The Chaplin header to win the game. Let's hope we can make it count when we get the opportunities tomorrow. But look, if win, lose or draw, as long as Town put in a really good shift against a team that's going to be in the Premier League next season, worst case scenario, we'll be in 3rd place, and then we'll be chasing down Southampton.
We're right in the mix. Whatever happens, we're right in the mix with maybe 18 games to go. When it off, they've got Maidstone. I see Maidstone sold their allocation.
Brilliant.
Went in 100 minutes yesterday.
Brilliant. I love that.
We've got that, and then we need a run of victories, don't we now? Because I think if you look at Southampton's next 2 or 3, they just keep winning. We've got to keep up with them, Matt. If we can keep up with them, or a couple of points adrift going into the last 10 games, and then you never know what happens. If the pressure, we've got to play them. Obviously, they've got to come to Portman Road. That's going to be a game that we need to win. We're going to have to beat them.
Leeds last day of the season. There's plenty of twists and turns.
Go to Leicester.
We're only in January. Season goes through to May? First week of May?
Yeah. There you go.
Funny.
All right, score prediction for tomorrow then, boys, is round up. What is your score prediction going to be? We've got 1-1 in the chat from RJ. What is yours, Matt?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I think 1-1. That's a great set of results against that Leicester team. I think you get the one, you dig it out, and you got the 1-1 at Pullman Road, and you can go there and get a draw tomorrow. Brilliant. I think we're more than capable of doing that. And then hopefully a striker comes in on the back of it, and we'll all be happy.
Okay, Rich, got 2-2 from Mike Woods and 2-1 from Colin. What are you saying?
2-0 Leicester. I'm being realistic. Leicester are better than we are. They're a better side than we are, and that's why they are. But they should be a better side than we are, because
they should be a better side than us.
Look at the riches that they've got.
Yeah, exactly.
They should. And you look at the team they've got now, Matt, and you take out Maddison, Barnes, Tielemans, who all played in the Premier League. There's no way they should have been relegated in the first place with that.
No.
There was a massive failure there somehow. But,
well, I don't look. If it hadn't been for the previous chairman, the tragic accident that he had, I still think they would be probably. I mean, they've been a fantastically run club. I really like what King Harold's done.
Steve Catchpole. I want some of what he's drinking.
Yeah, are you in a couple of reds
town
at lunchtime there, Steve? I mean, brilliant.
That was a brilliant.
That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? But whatever happens, the season continues. Worst case scenario will be in third, and you know what I mean. And then what's it? Maidstone, then Preston, and then West Bromwich Albion. Let's hope that West Brom team turn out like they did at Carrow Road yesterday.
Very true.
So we can laugh at Chris.
Steve
Catchpole, my favourite hobby.
As it should be. 3-1 says Archie. Town Leicester red card.
What's that?
Matt Steiner says 1-0. So lots of mixed scores.
Could be a good game.
The referee tomorrow night is Josh Smith, by the way, and he was He was the referee for the Norwich game, Matt.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Norwich, Bristol City, Southampton, Stoke. He's refereed us 4 times, and we haven't lost.
Okay, it's good to know.
Oh, there you go.
So what were the games?
Norwich, Bristol City, Southampton, Stoke.
Okay.
For the Bristol City game was
and 4-4, by the way, at Charlton last season. So do we want to close on a little Ladapo love?
Memories. That was a great
game.
Little
Ladapo love. I know
Let's go for it.
Some Ladapo slander. Ladapo slander last season.
We would discuss this on the phone, won't we, Rich? I think he's had a successful career of us. He scored 17 league goals, for crying out loud, and contributed us to getting promoted. I mean, where would we be without, he scored in that 3-2 win at Portsmouth, got us over the line, the brace at Port Vale. He, like you said, Rich, he was brought in to get us promoted, and he did that, and so fair play to him. So he goes with best wishes. Just not quite what we need in the Championship, sadly. I'd love to have seen him stepped up, but he'll go to Charlton. I think Charlton's a good fit for him, and let's see what he can do there moving forward. I'm sure he'll end up signing.
Great signing video, wasn't it, Matt? I know you like it.
It was a bit amateurish for me, but that's not on Freddie, is it? That's on the editorial team. But, the concept.
It's interesting because he's gone there, and he played yesterday. They lost 2-0 to Burton, and there's a lot of talk about Michael Appleton losing his job there. He's obviously gone there. They've made quite a lot of signings. He teamed up with Big T yesterday.
He's
in the lineup.
Love that. What a team, Alfie, mate.
Look, he got 25 goals, 33 starts, 42 sub appearances for Town. Obviously scored 2, didn't he, against Cardiff this season?
Yeah. No one was slating him then, were they?
And I said to you on the phone on Friday, and I think when I watched that show when I was on holiday, when he'd signed, and you'd done the show, and you had the Rotherham guy on, Martin, and he said, plays well in a 2. Well, never played in a 2 at Town. No, then you think, look, he's gone to Charlton, he's going to play with Alfie May, who's obviously, he's a very good League One striker. And I'd expect him to get some goals there. It's interesting, it's only a loan. He'll have another year when he comes back at the end of his loan. So if he goes there and rips it up for Charlton, I think they'll sign him. It's interesting. I was listening to McAntony's pod, Matt.
Oh yeah,
they were all over Clark Harris. They were all over Clark Harris from Peterborough because he's going to move on. They just wouldn't pay the money, and I think, who would you rather have, Clark Harris, Ladapo? Clark Harris all day long.
Yeah. I would probably go. I would probably go Clark Harris.
But Freddie, look,
Mike made a good point in the week, Rich, or last week. That would have been, if we were playing a 2, that would have been a great 2 in League One. Jackson and Ladapo. You've got, as you like on Mox, but the fact Ladapo's good around inside the box, and you've got Caden doing all the work and the pace that he brings, that would have been a good pairing. I think.
I think if you look at his goals that he scored for Town, and you look at the goals he scored for Rotherham, most of them were in the penalty area. Other than probably the one at Charlton. The Charlton away where he spins the defender and bangs it bottom corner. Another goal, Martin, was the Portsmouth goal. I think that was his first goal for Town, wasn't it? Left foot,
Yeah.
top
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Goal at Peterborough.
That's my favourite goal. The
Great
bottom
finish.
Peterborough.
Really good.
Where he's been absolutely mad.
No, he's mauling him. He's mauling him.
Yeah.
The defender's all over him, holds him off, chests it down, and then volleys.
Really
Look,
impressive. Yeah.
done
Very
really
good.
well, Ladapo. I won't have any Ladapo slander.
No, agreed.
He's done really well for Town. He's done what he was brought in to do.
Yeah,
Got us out of the
agree
league.
with
And as we said at the start of the season, there'll be players who've done stuff for Town and they'll move on, but they'll always have a place in our hearts, Martin, because they've actually achieved something when they're in a football club.
Yeah.
Which a lot of players haven't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Sadly, an
don't
awful lot of
sleep on
players.
his contribution. He got us back into the championship, so fair play to him.
We need to
Absolutely.
change the song now, though.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
Chaplin in attack. We're going back to back. Town are going to win the league. There you go.
There you go. Get that going. Get that
I
going.
don't think we're going to win the league.
Who's going to make the decision of whose name is changed? How's that going to work? Is it Blue Action? We'll bring that to the table. There needs to be some coordination here.
Make a start, Matt. Put your suggestion on the table, mate. You're a singer-songwriter.
Richard,
Singer-songwriter.
Richard's got the social media influence. He's going to have to do a poll.
We're going back to back. We're not going to win the league, though, so that's the bit. We are Chaplin in attack. We're going back to back. Town are going to the Premier League. There you go.
But you've already got Wolfie at the back. You don't want to repeat the back to back. That's a songwriting faux pas. You don't want to use
As he knows from Christmas telly.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to work on it as you go up there to the King Power tomorrow, and then let me know.
Surely you're working on it. You're our Ed Sheeran, aren't you? Our resident singer-songwriter. Like you're a lyricist.
It's got to be a name that's the depot in attack, Broadhead in attack, Jackson in attack, Keith Moore in attack. It needs to work.
Attack.
Don't know. It's got to be someone who's mainstay. Chaplin in attack, I think.
Probably be Chaplin, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Captain Chaplin.
I don't know.
Let's hope we have another goal-winning contribution for him tomorrow.
Edge of the box job. That'd be great.
All right. Join us tomorrow on the full-time show where we discuss what has hopefully Town's.
What's your prediction, Martin, by the way?
Yeah, what's your prediction, Martin?
I hadn't really thought about it.
You have thought about it.
He always says, I'm not important.
I've not even been enough thoughts. Really?
Leicester City 1 and Town does.
Wow.
I remember going there. Do you remember the game? I think it was Boxing Day when Royal was in charge. Thomas Gardso. We 1-0 down.
Yeah,
Gardso scored. Gardso scored late, and then Darren Ambrose.
Header, was it?
It was a great header. I think Ian Walker was in goal, Matt, for them that night.
Good win.
That's a great header. That was a great header from a free kick. And then Ambrose.
Yeah, the kind of clarity
Burgundy
kit.
kit. And then Ambrose banged one in at the back post.
Did Jimmy Bernard score a worldie there as well? One season.
Not for Town. No, he scored 2 at Cardiff. I think you were
Oh, it was Cardiff. That was it. Yes, that's right.
2-1 Town. Caden Jackson double. There you go.
Who needs a striker? Come on.
Exactly. That'll be the narrative on Wednesday. What striker? Who needs one? We've got. You never know. You never know. We'll see. Anyway, join us at full time. Thank you to these two for your contributions today. Thank you for the live chat. And we'll catch you all tomorrow and then during the rest of the week. But thanks
Go
for
on, you
watching.
Blues.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair.